Manufacturing Company.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Metal stamping, solar panels, a family business that seems to be doing pretty well in a world that's,
Yeah.
very tech-focused.
It's a fascinating story.
The sources you send over paint a really interesting picture.
Yeah, and what's striking is
Yeah.
how they've stayed grounded while also embracing the future, based in Dundee, Michigan.
Right. In Dundee, Michigan.
But they're making waves in plumbing and solar, which is pretty cool.
And this can-do attitude that keeps popping up,
Yeah.
it's more than just talk, right?
Right, exactly.
They've been around for over 70 years.
Over 30 years, yeah.
So how does that attitude translate into something real for their customers?
Well, think about this. The company was bought by Peter and Dale Davis from their father back in 2003.
The Davis brothers.
Yeah.
Okay.
These guys, they practically grew up in the plant.
Wow.
That's not just experience, that's like a deep understanding of the business,
It's ingrained.
It's in their blood, yeah.
So it's not just about saying yes to every project. It's about having the skills and the knowledge to actually deliver.
Absolutely, yeah. They can back it up.
Which makes their mission statement even more interesting
Yeah.
because they talk a lot about growth and innovation,
Yeah.
especially in plumbing and solar.
And they define success in a very well-rounded way, It's not just about the bottom line.
Right.
It's about having a great team, strong relationships with customers and suppliers,
Yeah.
and always going above and beyond what's expected.
It sounds like the ideal scenario.
It does, doesn't it?
But does it actually work in practice? I mean, manufacturing is a tough business.
Well, that's where their values come in.
Okay.
They really emphasize teamwork, accountability, pride in their work.
Yeah.
It's not just about producing stuff. It's about a culture of quality
I see.
at every single level.
But quality alone isn't always enough,
That's true.
especially in a fast-paced industry like solar.
Right, and this is where things get really interesting.
Right.
In 2012, they partnered with a brand new solar rack manufacturer.
Oh, wow.
And that partnership helped that solar company grow into a multi-million-dollar business.
Really?
Yeah.
So Dundee played a key role in their success.
They did, and it solidified their own position in the solar industry.
That's a huge leap for a company with such deep roots in traditional manufacturing.
It is, yeah.
Was it just luck, or was there a strategy behind it?
I think it shows their adaptability, their willingness to take on new challenges.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't just add another product to their list. They actively contributed to the growth of a whole new industry.
So how do they compete in such a crowded and constantly changing market?
Yeah.
It can't just be about a positive attitude and a few good partnerships.
Right. There's more to it.
There's got to be more to it.
And I think their secret sauce is this blend of customer relationships and innovation.
Okay.
They're not just selling products, they're providing solutions.
Solutions tailored to their customers' needs. Interesting. So they're really digging deeper.
Yeah, they're not just taking orders.
Yeah.
They want to understand their customers' pain points,
Their challenges.
Exactly.
And then find ways to actually help.
That's where their expertise in engineered services and product development comes in.
Mm-hmm.
They're really good at helping customers develop cost-effective products and processes.
And they're not afraid to get their hands dirty,
No, they're very hands-on.
which I imagine is a big selling point for customers.
It is, especially in an industry where efficiency and cost savings are so important.
Absolutely.
And they're not just reacting to problems, they're proactive.
Mm-hmm.
They're always investing in new technology, looking for ways to improve.
Okay.
For instance, they have a whole range of in-house capabilities.
Such as.
From design and prototyping to stamping, welding, finishing.
So they've got it all covered.
Pretty much.
But what about product shortages?
Oh.
That's a big concern for a lot of businesses these days.
Dundee seems to have that under control.
Really?
They've built a system that prioritizes reliable customer service.
Right.
Timely shipments, competitive pricing, easy reordering.
So it's not just about having the products.
Right.
It's about having the infrastructure to deliver them consistently.
Absolutely. And that's a huge advantage in today's market.
Definitely.
But you know what struck me about Dundee?
With that.
Their approach to product shortages is really interesting.
Oh, right.
They don't just say, hey, these are tough times, everyone's struggling.
Right.
They actually say that product shortages are a thing of the past for their customers.
That's a bold statement.
It is, but they have the capabilities to back it up.
They do.
A wide range of presses, 3D printing, design software.
Not cutting any corners?
No, they're not.
And it goes back to that can-do attitude we talked about.
Exactly.
They see a problem and they find a way to overcome it.
They don't accept limitations.
In this case, they've invested in the technology to make product shortages a non-issue.
For their customers, yeah.
They've turned a potential weakness into a strength.
That's a good way to put it.
It's impressive.
It speaks to their long-term vision,
Yeah.
They're not just thinking about the next quarter, they're thinking about building a sustainable business.
A business that can weather any storm.
Exactly.
This is all fascinating, but it raises a question.
Hmm.
How does a company with such deep roots in traditional manufacturing
Yeah.
adapt and thrive in a world that's becoming so digital?
Well, I think their success comes down to a few things.
Okay.
First, they've managed to maintain that family business feel.
Even as they've grown,
Even as they've grown, yeah.
there's still that personal connection.
There is that sense of commitment throughout the whole organization.
So that can-do attitude is
Uh-huh.
more than just a slogan.
It's part of their DNA.
It's who they are.
And secondly, they've embraced innovation, but without sacrificing their core values.
Okay.
They're always looking for ways to improve, but they do it in a way that aligns with their commitment to quality, customer service, and building those lasting relationships.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
But some might argue that focusing on relationships is a bit old-fashioned.
In today's digital world,
Yeah, in today's digital world.
I think they understand that technology can actually enhance those relationships. They use technology to streamline communication,
Okay.
improve efficiency, provide better service.
But they never forget that business is about people.
At the end of the day, it is, yeah.
So it's about finding the right balance.
The right balance between technology and that human touch.
Exactly. And it seems like they've found it.
They have.
It's reflected in their success.
It is.
And in the way they talk about their customers and their business.
There's a genuine sense of pride
Yeah.
and purpose.
Their story is a great example of how a company can use its history and values to navigate the complexities of the modern world.
It is, yeah.
But what about other businesses,
Mm.
especially those in traditional industries that are struggling to adapt?
Right.
What can they learn from Dundee?
I think the biggest takeaway is that it's not about choosing between tradition and innovation.
Okay.
It's about finding ways to blend the two.
So don't throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Exactly.
Embrace new technology, but don't forget what made you successful in the first place.
Right.
And what about companies that are just starting out?
Mm-hmm.
Do they need a 70-year history to be successful in this environment?
Not at all.
Okay.
Dundee's story shows us that a strong company culture, a commitment to customers, and a willingness to adapt and innovate are essential.
Regardless of your age or industry.
Exactly.
It's inspiring to see a company like Dundee thriving,
It is.
especially in such a challenging environment.
Yeah.
But I'm curious, what do you think the future holds for them?
Well, the manufacturing landscape is always changing, so there will definitely be new challenges.
Yeah.
But given their track record, I think they'll find ways to adapt and succeed.
Do you think they'll be able to maintain that personal touch as they grow?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how they navigate that
Balance.
balance, yeah.
But if they stay true to their values and keep finding ways to use technology to enhance their customer relationships, I think they'll be in a good position.
I agree.
Their success in the solar industry is particularly interesting.
It is, yeah.
What do you think the future holds for that market?
I think the solar market is on the rise.
Okay.
As the demand for clean energy grows,
Mm-hmm.
we'll see significant expansion.
And how is Dundee positioned to capitalize on that?
Well, with their expertise in metal stamping and their commitment to innovation,
Yeah.
they're well positioned to play a major role in that growth.
Exciting to think about the possibilities.
It is.
But let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Right.
We've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
Just want to make sure our listener is still with us. Let's recap some of the key takeaways about Dundee Manufacturing Company. So just to recap, Dundee Manufacturing Company, family-owned, over 70 years in the business, specializing in metal stamping and custom manufacturing.
Based in Dundee, Michigan.
Right there in Dundee, Michigan.
Mm-hmm. Serving a variety of industries, but really making their mark in plumbing and solar.
And what really sets them apart, it's not just their equipment or their in-house capabilities.
No.
It's that can-do attitude.
Yeah, that commitment to their customers and a constant drive to innovate.
They're not afraid to embrace new technologies and adapt.
And they haven't lost that personal touch.
Those strong customer relationships, that can be so hard to maintain.
Right.
Which brings us back to that question we touched on earlier.
Mm-hmm.
How does a company with such deep roots in traditional manufacturing not just survive, but actually thrive?
In a world that's so driven by automation and digital technology,
It's almost like a contradiction.
Yeah.
Everything we hear is about businesses needing to automate, to scale, to go digital.
Right. Go digital or get left behind.
Exactly.
But Dundee's success suggests there might be another way.
I think their story really highlights the importance of balance.
Balance, yeah.
Technology is essential, of course, for growth and efficiency.
But it's not a replacement for human ingenuity,
Right.
for craftsmanship, for those personal connections that build trust.
Dundee has figured out how to use technology to actually enhance those human elements.
Not replace them.
Yeah. Their investments in 3D printing and advanced design software haven't taken away from their focus on quality.
In fact, they've amplified it.
And they haven't sacrificed those relationships for the sake of automation either.
No, they've used technology to make communication easier and improve their responsiveness.
It's almost like they've flipped the script.
Mm-hmm.
They're not just a manufacturing company.
Yep.
They're a partner invested in their customer success.
And that's what makes them stand out.
That's what allows them to make those bold statements.
About eliminating product shortages.
Yeah, and actually deliver on those promises.
Because they have the relationships and the infrastructure to back it up.
So what's the takeaway for other businesses? Should we all go back to handshakes and handwritten notes?
Not necessarily, but I think Dundee's success shows us something important.
Okay.
It's not about rejecting technology. It's about using it strategically.
To enhance your strengths,
Exactly.
deepen your relationships, and create a more human-centered approach to business.
Even in a digital world.
It's a reminder that people still value authenticity
Reliability.
and that personal touch.
Those qualities, combined with a willingness to adapt and a commitment to improvement, can make all the difference.
No matter your industry or the size of your business,
That's right.
it's been great exploring this with you.
Likewise.
And I hope our listeners found this deep dive as insightful as I have.
Me too.
Until next time.
Keep exploring and stay curious.